everybody, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending time with me today. I am on day 35 of my run-through of Tina's weekly mass makes. So, her week 35 was floating pockets. I really like these. I haven't seen these done. She did them with her printables, so she had them on 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. I am going to be doing them with scrapbook paper. And this is actually, a lot of these are actually paper. So for some of the thinner ones, I'm going to be doing an extra step. But other than that, other than trimming, we should be pretty much the same as what she did. So being that this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper, I am folding in 2 inches on either side to reinforce my pocket. This is kind of a thinner paper, a thinner scrapbook paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these 2 sides in 2 inches, which gives me 8 inches across. Okay, so I have my 8-inch, instead of 8.5, I'm doing 8. That just means my pocket, instead of being 4 1/4, is going to be 4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these strips down though. So we're going to take this, I'm going to use my big nozzle. It's the last of what's in here because I used it to top off my glue bottle here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to put a bunch of these together, and then I'm going to try and decorate one. I like these. The idea of these is very interesting. As it says in the title, these are floating pockets. So these are supposed to be like clipped in or tucked in or, you know, whatever. So let's go ahead and get my reinforcements done. This also allows for me to not have to worry about trimming. I guess really what she did was folded the 11-inch side. So, or for me it would be the 11-inch side. So my pocket would be 5.5. So we can fold it the other way. I would just have to take a little bit off. It would make a 6-inch pocket. Oh, let's lay that on its side. Oh, it's going to be drippy. Hold on. Don't do that. We'll get the other side done. So this is an extra prep step. If you're using digitals and you've got them on a decent, like they're not on copy paper, you don't need to do this. If you're using something that isn't scrapbook paper and it's just the right size to do this, because these are kind of big. They're like a little purse size thing or whatever. Here's my... Okay, so we're going to get that all smooshed down like that. And then what you're going to do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my cutter out and I'm going to take this down to, I'm going to take 1 inch off of here. So we're going to take this down to 11 inches. I'm going to take this inch off, get the branding strip out of there. Wait. Nope. I'm going to take this down to 9 inches. I'm going to take this down to 8.5 inches so that we have our like page size. Now you could take this and make a small version of this, although you're going to be losing something. So on the sides of these, what you're going to do is you're going to fold in just a bit. Okay, mine's going to fold in half a here. So we're going to fold in just a bit here, and then we're going to fold the whole thing in half. And probably you should let that glue dry that I put on there. But for now, I'm just going to do it for the speed of the video. Okay. Did I? Oh no, I folded that wrong. doesn't go that way. It goes this way. Mine's going to have a crease in it. Guys, this is literally the first one of these I've made. Why it was like something that I had to figure out, I have no idea. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to unfold these and we're going to cut triangles. Like you do when you're making coin pockets. And they don't have to be the same. They're going to be tucked inside, so it doesn't matter. Like you don't need to get out a tag measure or use the one corner to make the other corner the same or whatever. You're just kind of eyeballing it like you would for a... Okay, and then we're going to fold them back in. I just want to use the last of the glue in this bottle up. Okay. So you're going to put glue on all... I suppose you don't really have to put glue on all four. Just two of them will do. Because you're just going to put those... You're going to glue those together. Okay, like that, and you've got, well, mine's got a fold in it, so it's got a extra opening because I folded it in the wrong spot. But that's it, guys, and it's got like a nice gusset in it. If you can see that, it's got a nice space there for or a little divider, or you could almost make it a divided pocket. I might try that with one of them. Okay, I'm going to take the branding strip off of this one. And we're going to try this again, and we're going to see if I can do this correctly. Okay. Now, this one gave me these folded in flaps, which I kind of like. So I kind of want to do that again. So if I fold in my flaps this way, then my paper is going to fold this way, and my butterflies are going to be kind of sideways. Well, let's do it this way, and they can be up and down. Oh, they need to be it needs to be 2 inches. I don't want to go any further than 2 inches. And this comes out to be good, like a good it's a 4-inch pocket deep. By 8.5 inches tall. So I think that's pretty good. It's like 4 inches this way. So I think you can get a decent... I'm going to get this out. Some of my book page laying over here to the side. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to glue this. And we'll lay that over. All right. And then we'll do the other side. Do this side. You ever notice how when you own a dog, their hair gets everywhere? She never comes to the base. Well, that's not true. She comes down here to bathe. We bathe her in her deep sink. But she will not voluntarily come down to the basement because she doesn't like baths. And for her, that's what the basement is. It's where she gets her bath. So she doesn't like it down here. Okay. So we got that one done. All right. I'm thinking maybe what I'll do, we're going to do all of our folding. All right, guys. So I'm going to say, enjoy the music, and I will meet you on the other end of this. Okay. So that's basically all the processing done. So as I explained to you with the first one, basically what I did was I folded in my 2 inches on either side, and I've made these all 8 inches. Okay, so we've done that with all of them. These, I have an idea for what we can do with these, and it's going to take a little bit of, well, not that one, but it's going to take a little bit of processing before we get going. So these are about 3.5, a little less than 3.5. I want to see if I have any. Definitely not those. They're too. If any of these are wide enough, they might be too narrow. I think they're all too narrow. Okay, so I need some 3.5-inch strips. You guys are like, why are we making this more difficult? Because I had an idea and I want to try it. This I can put with the butterflies. Okay, so I'm going to glue my strips. So is everybody ready for the holidays, by the way? I keep asking this question. I'm trying to get 2 videos shot a night so that I can hopefully get a little bit of gap between me and, this video is being shot 3 days before I plan on putting it up. Okay. This is an extra step that Tina does not do in her video. But because and this is an idea I got as I was cutting these off and gluing the other ones together, because I'm using scrapbook paper. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I wanted to spare you all my paper selection. But basically what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing we did here where I took this and I backed it on another piece of paper. So I'm going to take all of these and back them on some selected paper. And you might get a lot of music sessions in this one because there's going to be a lot of repetitiveness, and I want to be able to get through all of the steps and hopefully be able to decorate one of these without the video getting too out of hand. So I'll see you on the other side of the gluing process. Okay, these pieces here I had out for decorating purposes if we get around to it, with some thoughts, and now we're going to cut these out and maybe we can, chat as we go. I'm going to turn these over like this because that's where I started, so those should be the driest sooner. Okay, so my thought for these was, and this was only because I was cutting these down and I was looking at it and I was like, those would be perfect as dividers because of the way this pocket goes together. So we are going to put a little divider in our pockets. Now, like I said, this is an extra step. This is not how this one, the first one that we made is how Tina did it, as far as the two folded in sides and then you just glue them together and that's your pocket. Okay. We're going to do an extra step. I know. I'm like the fastest crafter in the West. I need to be adding new extra steps to my crafting process like I need a hole in the head. But I saw these and I was like, why have extra? Why not just go ahead and get rid of the scrap now? Because, I mean, if you tried to make one of these folded gusseted pockets with this, it's going to be really narrow. Just because of the fact that, I mean, it's just going to be, these are only like 3.5 inches wide. So if you then fold it in to get your gusset and everything, you're probably going to get yourself down to 2.5 inches wide. It's going to be a very narrow pocket. So I thought this might be kind of a fun something to do with this instead. And because of the way they were cut with the two edges and then the middle being white, I just decided it would be fun to find some sort of paper to line the pocket with. I mean, the divider with. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And then we'll try and decorate them up. So travel plans. Anybody have travel plans for the holidays? When you see this, like I said, I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of myself. When you see this, it should be Saturday, Friday, Saturday. I'm not sure. I think Saturday, but I'm not absolutely positive. So anyway, Christmas hasn't hit yet. So I was just curious if anybody had any travel plans. I think I said in my last video, my plan is to just kind of relax and do Christmas here at home with my family. My kids are all older now and their work schedules are funny. It's just a lot for them. As a matter of fact, with Christmas falling in the middle of the week, my one son has off the day after Christmas, I think only because he put personal time in. Because he works in a grocery store. So they're closed like Christmas Day, and I think that's it. I think they're even open Christmas Eve. So, I mean, heck, they're open Thanksgiving. I disagree with all of that. I personally remember the days when you just had to, I mean, if you planned ahead for your Thanksgiving meal or whatever, you just had to have everything bought before Thursday. I remember those days. I feel like it wasn't that hard, so I don't know. I don't see, because he's had to work, because Thursday, they don't take into account, I should say, the fact that it's a holiday. So he's worked 2 Thanksgivings in a row. Now, the store closes early, so he gets off early. I want to say but only a couple of hours early, because he's the day shift guy. He's a day shift guy, so he gets off around 4:30 anyway. And then on Thanksgiving, he got off at 2. So he got a whole, 2.5 hours? Because Thursday is a normal work day for him, and they, like I said, they don't close the store. And people have gotten used to the fact that the stores will be open, so, if there's a last minute thing that they have to get, they know that they can get it Thursday morning. I just don't, I'm one of those people that thinks that the store should be closed for the holidays. I don't think it needs to be open. If you didn't get it before Thursday, then you can probably do without it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. I know that as a society, I know that we've gotten used to having them open. As a society, we've just kind of, we're used to the fact that, it's going to be open on Thanksgiving. I just don't think it should be. But anyway, so their schedules can get a little hairy around the holidays, and so I usually spend my holidays home, and then I go usually like day after to see extended family. My parents, So, yeah, so that's my travel plans for the Christmas holiday. So we'll probably, because Christmas falls on the Wednesday, right? So we'll probably just kind of relax Wednesday, hang out, eat snacks. I do have a dinner plan. I'm going to be making, my plan is to make stuffed shells. My husband likes stuffed shells a lot. My kids do too. So that's the plan. So hopefully I can stick with that. It's going to be kind of an Italian Christmas dinner, not like the big dinner of the 7 fishes and all that. We're just going to do stuffed shells and fettuccine alfredo. I have quite a few people in my family. My husband doesn't like fettuccine alfredo, but my kids, I have several of my kids do. So, all right. So now that we've got those cut out, let's go ahead and start doing our pocket. Give me 1 second. Okay. So basically we're going to now fold these the way we did with the other one. So we're going to fold in on either side on all the pockets. So we'll fold in. Let's do all our folding. I'm assembly lining it, guys. Let's do it. In the evenings when I go upstairs after I've been filming, I usually turn on the TV. I've told you guys before I'm a like mystery show person, right? I watch mystery shows, and the UK like BritBox and Acorn, those streaming channels, you guys put out some of the best mystery shows. So, yeah. So I watch a lot of those, but here recently I've been rerunning. I've been hard pressed to find good new shows. I'm not a big fan of sitcoms. I don't know. I think my sense of humor is just different. My sister likes some of them. I'm just not a big fan. That one was being extra difficult. Okay, and then we'll fold up here. But a new show came out. Well, this is actually season 2, so it made it through one season. My sister was watching it. It's on the CBS network, or Paramount Plus if you're streaming. It's that new show, Tracker, where he calls himself a rewardist. Okay, I'm going to unfold and fold this way. I think it'll be easier. Okay, so we'll get them all folded like that. So we're going to unfold the flaps and then fold this way. So he goes and he accepts jobs for where people have lost something. For the most part, it's been people that have gone missing and he has to track them down. But one time it was a horse. One time it was a dog. So I mean, he finds things, and as I said, mostly people. And it's an interesting little show. I kind of like it. I've caught up to it. I think it's gone on. You know how? Well, I don't know. You know how TV shows do now. They go all the way up till like the beginning of December, and then they go on a break. And then we have that new thing in the middle now in the winter, where you might have a season of something that just runs from during the holiday break, and then all the shows come back in like February. It's like they take December and January off. I remember when shows used to go straight through, and the only off you would get is if they fell on, like, specifically Christmas week, there would be no episode, and maybe New Year's week, there would be no new episode. But the week before Christmas was usually a Christmas episode, like that. Okay, now we're going to cut our little corners. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut all my corners. So, yeah, so Tracker has gone on hiatus for the... and of course they left it with an old-fashioned cliffhanger. So there's a mystery to come back to. It's background on him. It's like this case that he... one of his cases where it was a missing person and he didn't find her. And it was like, it's 10 years old or something. And there's been new movement on the case, so it's to be continued whether or not we find anything new out. But yeah, I'm always looking for good mystery shows. I've been watching, I like FBI. It's done by the same guy who did Law and Order. The Law and Order shows. Well, producer-wise. I don't know about the rest of it. Writers and all that. But anyway, so I like FBI. And there's 3 of them. But I usually only watch the main one. I don't watch the Most Wanted. I think they go after fugitives. I think part of the thing that gets me with a show is I have to like the it's not just the story. It has to be the people, like for a lot of these mystery shows, there's usually a team of people. So there's a group of detectives, and then their periphery people, like a pathologist or, a computer analyst or something like that they always interact with. It's a regular on the show also. So you have all these extra people. And I feel like I have to like the team of people. That can make or break a show for me, is if I don't like the team of people. And I don't know if that's true of everybody, but I feel like a lot of people are like that. Okay. My thought, and I don't know if this is going to work because we just made these shorter. So this is going to sit on here like this, but we're going to have to trim it. So let's see how wide the pocket is. How long the pocket is once we get our thing folded. So if I go like this and we fold it, this pocket is now 7 1/4. Okay. You know what I like about my cutter? It has 1/8 marks. So 7 1/4, we're going to make this 7 1/8. I'm just going to cut it. We're going to see what happens. Okay, 7 1/8. I took that off. And I think we should be good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue it right in here. Okay? Right on either side. Oh, I want to do it this way. Almost. All right, so I'm going to put glue on here. I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way up because, it's going to have to stick to that. So, okay, so we go all the way up like that, and then we're going to put this in here like this. And I'm keeping it to the reason I cut it just shy, so not the exact 7 1/4, because I want it to be inside. I don't want it to stick out. Okay, and then we're going to put glue on this flap. And we're going to close it up. Okay, and then when you look in there, now you've got a little divider. Ooh. Wait. It's still supposed to be gusseted. Don't do that. Oh, mine's sticking. Too much glue. Okay, there we go. So then you have this little divider in here. I don't know why it's being obnoxious. And it's not tall, so it doesn't stick up. It just sits down in there. Okay, and on one side it's got the letters, and then on the other side it's the same as the outside. And then I figured we could take some of the scrap and decorate when we decorate the outside. Okay, so that's one. Hopefully they're not too hard to put together. Okay, so we're going to fold this in. Okay, and I see my butterflies. Let's fold it in and see how long it is. See if we're getting them all to about the same. This one's a little over 7 1/4. So we'll still cut it to 7 1/8. I'm pretty sure they're all going to be around that size, but I feel like they need to be measured individually. You could also, if you wanted it to show more, you could glue it higher. This little divider guy, you could glue it higher up and just have a gap down here at the bottom. Because whatever you slide in there is going to be, a piece of paper or card or something like that. So it's not like it's going to slip underneath. So you could glue it higher if you wanted to. Okay, so let's put our glue on here. And put our divider on. Or you could do it like right in the middle. Okay. And then we'll do our side flaps. So anyway, I've been watching FBI. If you watch the show, I like the characters, that team. I think they got a good group. So, yeah. I don't know. Recommending TV shows is not one of those things I do very often because I'm not sure, like... I mean, I guess, if you like the same kinds of shows I like, crime shows and stuff like that. And a lot of people do. They do well, so... Okay, that's another one with a divider. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's get this guy. Oh, forgot. Let's measure. See where we're at. Okay, 7 1/4. Maybe I should just check them all. This one is 7 inches. This one's short. I folded these sides in pretty good. Okay. The other thing I need to remember to do is get these folded really good, because I'm not doing that, and I feel like that's part of my problem. Okay, let's pull this down here and go ahead and cut them all. I am determined to get all of these made, guys. Determined. So the pumpkin one is the only one that's a little bit different. So we're going to do 7 1/8 on all of them except the pumpkin. Yeah, so the FBI show is, well, just like it says, it's supposed to be, federal crimes. I will say this, that show, if you were to take that show at face value, New York, you spend a lot of time getting bombed. I'm just saying. I feel like every other crime they investigate is trying to chase down a bomb that's supposed to go off somewhere in New York City. That's like every other show, I swear. It's funny to me because I'm always like, wow, New York City does they do a lot of bombing in New York City. But, the show is good. And like I said, I like the crew. I like the cast that they have. Although one of the ladies I like, she left the show, I think. And we're breaking in a new partner for one of the agents. And I'm still up in the air. But that happens to me all the time when they get rid of a character that I like. Like, one that you've gotten used to and you really like, and then they get rid of it and replace it with somebody new, and they get rid of it. They get rid of a character and they replace them with somebody new, and you're like, oh. And then I'm just so upset that they took away a character I liked that I don't want to like the new character. So I'm being petty. But so I'm... they also went on a little bit of a... Or maybe I just caught up to myself with that. Because I was watching FBI for a while because I had stopped for a while. And when I went back, it was like 3 or 4 seasons later, and I was like, wow, I'm behind. So I did some catching up. And then without even paying any attention, I got caught up. So I got to the last episode they had put out. And I think that was 2 weeks ago. So I think now there's been a couple more episodes. I don't know when they're going on there, or if they're going on a winter thing. I don't know if all shows do it. Okay. I'll make sure it's not glued to itself. Okay, there's another one. All right, let's do this one since I have it out here. What else? Let's see. So they brought Criminal Minds back, which has been one of my all-time favorite shows. I love that show. I was really upset around seasons 11 and 12 when some of my main characters started leaving. Yeah, I was a little upset about that. I know there were reasons and all that sort of thing, but I was still upset because that was like some big characters. But I do like that show, and they brought it back. They brought back that Criminal Minds Evolution. And some of the old cast came back. And I was disappointed to see that my favorite character did not come back. But Garcia came back, so I was excited about that. I love her. And yeah, it's just so what I did was I went back and I found Criminal Minds on, I want to say Paramount's got them all. And I have been watching them to like catch up before I go and watch the new show. So yeah. So I've been watching Criminal Minds. That's what I've been kind of binging. I've been getting upset at CBS recently because shows that are theirs, they originally produced them, because of the way streaming works now. You knew there was going to have to be a disadvantage. When it first came out, streaming was great. Loved it. You could pay for not having to watch commercials. I mean, it was great. And now all of these streaming channels that don't necessarily, well, they've started making their own content, so I wish they'd leave the other content alone, but they weren't making their own content, so they have these streaming contracts with, like, say, a CBS or an NBC. And because of their streaming contract, the CBS show, like the back episodes, are on some other channel, and the only thing you can see on CBS itself is the new season, which, since I pay for CBS, that upsets me, because one of the reasons I pay for CBS is so that I can watch all the shows I like on CBS. Because of all of the American networks, CBS always had all my crime dramas. It had Criminal Minds, it had CSI, it had all the NCISs, it had all my favorite crime dramas. Well, now some of those crime dramas are being loaned out to other channels, and while CBS is loaning them out, I can't watch them on CBS unless I get this other channel. And I'm not paying for another channel, but it kind of upsets me that as a CBS subscriber, I can't watch CBS shows. I was a little upset by that. Luckily, though, Criminal Minds is, and I'm sure people who have other things, because I know Netflix is popular, and I know some CBS shows get contracted out to Netflix, so you guys are probably thrilled. But some of the other, at the moment anyway, Criminal Minds is still on CBS, all the old episodes, so I'm going through and watching it again. so that I can get caught up before I watch the new Evolution show. And then I read something where they said that Spencer Reid may be returning. I was all excited. He's my favorite. Love him. Oh, I didn't cut this short enough. It's going to be kissing the edges, guys. It's going to be kissing the edges. Okay. But yeah, he may be returning to Criminal Minds. Although I will say, I think I thought I also read that he was doing his own show called Einstein. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it. But he's doing a show called Einstein where he's apparently the great-grandson of Albert Einstein. I think that's how the math works out. And he helps the police solve crimes. So it's a crime show. And I'm like, yay! So yeah. But I don't know, though, because I've also read that he's coming back to Criminal Minds, so I don't know. I can't imagine he would be doing both. That seems like a lot. Not being an actor, I don't know for sure if that's a lot, but that seems like a lot. Okay. All right, we got one more, guys. One more. The other thing you could do is... now that I'm thinking about it, it might not be that easy. I suppose I could do it. I was going to say, the other thing you could do is you could glue a tab so that it sticks up out of there so that you can like see, put whatever cards you're putting in there behind the tab or in front of the tab. Does that make sense? That's just a thought. I don't know. These are going down kind of like when I open this up, it opens to one side or the other, or it does that. So, I don't know. I still think it's going to work as a divider. I just think it's a little wonky when you go to open up the pocket. Okay. I'm going to put this divider in this one. And we will be done with these dividers and putting these pockets in. I really like these pockets. I think these are great. They use up, well, I got fresh scrapbook paper for all of these. But, you know, I was running low on scraps, guys. I needed to make some. Said no paper crafter ever. Are we ever running low on scraps? I feel like that's not a thing. Because even when we're using our scraps, we're making more scraps. For some reason, I thought that was going to have more roses on it. But it's all brick, so it's going to be pretty easy to decorate. So let's find one to... maybe this one. So I got this out specifically because I thought these birds might be kind of cool on here. I'm just going to tear them. I'm not going to get the flowers, except in the corner. Because I don't think they'd fit, first of all. Ooh, that's very blendy, isn't it? Hold on. Maybe we do this. Let's tear that off of there. I don't know if this is going to fit either, guys. Might be too big. That's okay, but... well, it's okay to an extent. Yeah, see, it sticks off the one end. Might put it up there. And then I could just trim the one end. Okay, but I want to put We're gonna make it all fancy fancy. We're gonna do it. Let's do it. I want this, I think. I could scoot it back and then trim off the back. That might be better. We're going to do some lace up the side. Oh, what did I do with my pin? This had a pin in it. There it is. I think my hot glue gun is plugged in. It is. I could also do a little bit of this. I'm trying to salvage this lace from these very oddly sewn. I'm not sure what these were supposed to be. It'd probably be better if my scissors were actually sharp. Or as I'm sure lots of you are probably saying, or if you weren't using your paper scissors on your... Okay. So let's ink a little bit. We're going to decorate this one, guys, and then I'm going to tap out, so to speak. But that's what I've been spending when I like need some downtime. I go upstairs and watch TV. I'm going to go upstairs tonight and I'm going to edit this video and the one I did earlier, because I did 2 today. So I will be editing the videos and then hopefully I can start working my way back out to being, you know, having some comfortable room. It doesn't have to be weeks ahead, but I just want some comfortable space. Okay. Now I'm going to put my scissors through this wet glue for time purposes. Alright, and then what we're going to do, I think, so I'm going to bunch this all up down here. Maybe I should make it like this. Uh-oh, I buried my hot glue gun, which is always bad because that means I buried the cord, which means when I'm trying to use it, it'll throw stuff off onto the floor. Oh, speaking of, I need a stick. That's not speaking of throwing stuff off onto the floor. Okay, so we're going to put some hot glue across there. And we're going to say... Okay, like that. And then I want to put white down the side. I'm not usually one for this sort of thing, but I'm thinking I might put like a flower there. One of these. We'll get a button. I know. I have to go in my button bin. You guys are like, seriously? I thought we were going to avoid the button bin. Okay. So anyway, I'm only going to decorate one side of this also. just so we're clear on that. I mean, it is a like a loose pocket, you know. It doesn't get glued in, so the back side of it is going to be visible. But I'm not gonna try and decorate that today. Oh my gosh. I love bunching lace. I love the way it looks. I hate what it does to my fingers. All right. Oh, it's not glued right there. It needs to be glued all the way up to the top. Okay. All right. Let me real quick see how those have an orange. They have kind of an orangey center. I'm going to try and see if I can find something. Okay, what I've discovered is I have a lot less orange buttons than I thought. Okay, so I have that one, which takes up a lot of the space. I have this one, or I have this one that's got kind of a yellow. I was using them for the popcorn journal because the little, I don't think that stands out enough. I thought that was going to do it. We might actually use the like bright one. Okay, so let me get I want to make sure that's on there flat. I kind of want to put this in something. Where'd my bag of flowers go? We might make this a little bigger, guys. I know. It's like, seriously? I thought we were wrong colors. Do I have something like my flower bag? Like crazy. Let me see. You have to pull the thing off. Oh, guys. Isn't that lovely? Okay. So it's going to go, I'm going to spread this lace out so it's kind of flat. And the glue is going to go right about there. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to take this one right around here. And down she goes, right in the center. Okay, and then we're going to put this orange flower, this orange button in the middle. Oh, guys. I'm loving that. Look at that. I love it. Okay. And then the only other thing I might do, and that's only if I can find them quickly. I had these. Let's take some of these off of here. And I'm going to go like that. And we're going to put some glue on, and we're going to try and put them up on the lace at the top. Right there. There we go, guys. Okay, so that's one side of the pocket decorated. And you would tuck this into a journal. I mean, how cute is that? And our pocket is divided. And I used the paper. So this paper here on the divider is what I use down here in the corner. So it kind of is continuous. All right. And then if I was going to put one of those, like I said, a whale tail tab, if I was going to put one on here, I would use a piece of this just to add more of that to the book. And I think that's going to do it, guys. So I hope you guys liked this, and I will see you tomorrow with day 36. I'm going to tell you now, day 36 is a little daunting for me. We're sewing yo-yos. So get ready to buckle in, guys, because I think that one's going to be crazy. Bye-bye.